If you saw this car going down the road in this shade of mystic green, you wouldn't give it a second look. Trust me, I drove it for a week and I was invisible. Maybe, just maybe, someone would notice the badge and ask if now, do they make a Malibu SS or something? Because if they aren't immediately next to each other, this car looks exactly like a Malibu. There was once a time, and by once I mean of course right now, that SS was a trim level, not an entire car. But now SS means the whole thing, bumper to bumper. Apparently, not only did Chevrolet not want to spend money styling this car, but also they didn't feel like naming it. But look closer and you start to spot key bits of information that help you put together the puzzle of the SS. The front view is decidedly AMG-like, with wheel arches poking out rather far. Hiding underneath those Middle America chrome wheels is a massive set of Brembo brakes, with Z-rated Bridgestones as a wrapping. And of course, what sets the Chevrolet SS apart is where the power comes from, and then where the power goes. The last time a Chevrolet sedan packed a Corvette engine under the hood and sent the power out the back was more than 15 years ago. And though the Impala SS of the mid-90s wasn't, well, very good, it absolutely dripped attitude from every monstrous panel gap. That's why I've invited my old friend Larry Casilla, world-famous detailer and Impala SS owner, out to California to share his thoughts on the new SS that is most certainly not an Impala. But before we get to rambling, I do feel it's important to note that although the SS isn't exactly a looker, and although it doesn't have a very creative name, it seems that it does come with a pretty stellar set of pipes.
In late 2000, I became part of the Chevy SS family by buying a 1995 Chevy Impala SS. Now, it doesn't have the most horsepower, it certainly doesn't handle all that well either, but what it does have is emotion. It's got this feeling. I feel like Batman when I get in the car. I just love it.
This is the 2014 Chevy SS, also known as the 2008 Pontiac G8. Slightly new, it's also slightly old. It's got an LS3 under the hood, it's got a 6-speed automatic transmission with paddle shifters, and it's got a new interior with what is honestly a pretty nice dash layout. Got the same excellent nav system, multimedia system that I have in the Volt. Really like it, very easy to use. It's got some of the new buttons you see in the C7 Corvette.
There's a nice bit of space in between the HVAC system and the shifter, so you can put your iPhone or a bunch of gadgets or what have you over here.
It's got quite a bit of horsepower and torque, 415 of each. It's got a really nice sound from that LS3 engine.
It's got a little bit of a cam lobe that reminds me of old Mustangs and things like that. And I said, okay, this is starting to fire a little bit more emotion. And then I get behind the wheel. Wildly surprising is the suspension. It's incredibly stiff.
It's got good steering feel. It's got big Brembo brakes that I like very much. And the chassis is well sorted and quite rigid at this point.
If I'm in New York, this might be a little tough because of the potholes, but out here in LA, it feels pretty good.
I'm bummed you don't get magnetic ride, but something tells me if they keep this thing around for a couple more years, you might. You also might see the LT1 and the new 8-speed if they keep this thing around.
It's such a heavy car. It really does handle well.
I don't know why, if a Corvette has a round steering wheel, why the SS would need a flat bottom wheel. That's a little strange. But the thickness is nice. The leather's nice. It feels good in my hands.
The brakes are absolutely fantastic as well. For such a heavy car, I mean, it handles surprisingly well.
A lot of mid-range torque as you're winding it up and down the rev range. It's got a heads-up display, sort of like the BMWs, and Dylan optics, not really affecting it actually. It still works even though I'm wearing double polarized sunglasses by Dylan Optics.
This car is actually hammered. Oops.
The seats are very comfortable, although I don't know what they're doing with these little fake hole things here. Those are not good at all.
And if I pull real hard, I can pop them off. That kind of bothers me because Chevy spent money on that for some reason.
It mows through gas. I mean, the window sticker says 1421. I don't think it's been that good. I got an onboard computer. What am I getting? 14 average. I've been driving this car for a week and I've been averaging 14. So right at the bottom of what they say it'll do.
Now I'm out here shooting a bunch of videos, driving all over the place, and Matt was kind enough to let me borrow the car for a couple of days. And I have all my luggage, my film gear, everything. The trunk is pretty huge. Tons of room back here.
It's a nice place to be. There's a lot of room. There's a big trunk. It's comfortable. It rides well.
Oh, on the highway, it's great. I mean, besides devouring fuel, it's super comfortable. It feels great. I like this stiff ride personally because it makes me feel like I'm driving a race car.
The best thing about the SS is that it's great value for money. 45 grand in one of the German cars buys you a base model, 4-cylinder turbo, 200 and some odd horsepower. Here, it gets you a usable back seat, rear-wheel drive, limited slip diff, and a Corvette engine.
It's great. I think it's awesome. It's just, I don't know, I'm just missing something.
What it is missing is cool. Honestly, the SS isn't cool. It looks like a Malibu. To a car guy, they're interested in it, but no one on the street will look at you and go, yeah, that guy, he knows something. He's got something. It just looks, from the outside, like a rental car. And for $4,000 or $5,000 more, you could have a Chrysler 300 SRT that performs similarly to this, a little softer, a little cushier, maybe doesn't handle quite as well, but certainly as quick in a straight line, as nice sounding, as powerful, and gangster looking for just a few $1,000s more. If it were me, I would go that route because I would like something that's kind of cool. And this is a great sleeper, great daily driver, and a good car. It's just not cool. That then is what holds the SS back from becoming an icon. It sounds good, it's fast, it gets around corners, and it's screwed together tightly with nice materials, all at a great price. But it loses in the one area you really want a car like this to win: attitude. It doesn't have any. Our advice: go custom. Start with the SS and go to town at the body and wheel shop, turning this family screamer into the Darth Vader of sedans. The way to make it cool is very simple: make it black.